This is your daily briefing. You're most welcome to it. I am absolutely full of cold, so I won't give any of you a hug or a kiss goodbye. And this is going to be brief. I think it deserves to be brief. This is the quote from Conte that I think you need to, I think the modern parlance is used as a takeaway. And he said in the presser, I think in football it's important to be honest and very clear in every moment. We know that in this moment the level of the team is medium. We all know, not only me, also the players. Now, you and I, we all knew this, but this is a moment for Daniel Levy to seriously consider his position, and I'll explain why very straightforwardly. He has been pushing the narrative that all it needs is the right kind of coach, and we got, as you're well aware, this absolute spin, snake oil nonsense about the Tottenham DNA, which doesn't exist. And as I've said to you before, clubs only talk about the Tottenham way, the West Ham way, the Aberdeen way, or whatever, when things are rough. And when things are winning, they just don't care. We just want to win. So these are the mentally crippled people we need to absolutely squish. And that's about as nice as I can be. It's about winning. Winning's the metric. So Harry Kane, for example, stat padder extraordinaire, lovely guy, wish him well, but he's got to leave Tottenham, because he's not going to realise his dreams, he's not going to fulfil his career, and as I said to you before, he's going to look back on his career, and his grandkids are going to say, Granddad Harry, what's that on the shelf? And he go, obviously I got that for eating a lot of hot dogs in San Marino. That's what it equates to. It's worthless, absolutely worthless. Score 1,000 goals, absolutely worthless. So this quote from Conte, this tells us all we need to know. I'm glad he said it out loud. That's going to cause problems within the club. And equally, I pose this question. Who knows more about this group than the spiv with a chip on his shoulder, Jamie Redknapp, or a guy who's coaching them several times a week? And I would put it to you that Conte is the expert in this field, with an authoritative CV, knows what he's talking about, and it's his voice we should listen to. So I'll just run through a little bit of pre-match news with you. There's nothing you probably don't know. Obviously, Christian Romero's ruled out until at least the new year because of a hamstring injury. There was a really excellent comment left on here yesterday, and the point was made that it was quite a severe, I think it was a grade 3 tear or something. I'm not really up on this, but as the chap said who posted it, if that's the case, he ain't coming back in a hurry. That's not going to be walked off or have a little bit of Sudocrem put on it. He's going to have surgery. They're going to have to open the boy up. So Lo Celso misses out again, but might be fit to return against Norwich on Sunday. That's from the BBC. Brentford's Christian Norgard, Rico Henry and Serge Canos came off with injuries during their win over Everton, but are all available. Funny that. Wonder what goes on in their minds. Maybe they want to get on in life. And then there's a whole load of Brentford players that are out. So I'm going to give you Loro's prediction because he's vanilla, and I want to keep this vanilla because the punchline isn't very vanilla. So Loro says, I was impressed by Brentford in their win over Everton. I always thought they would win enough games to stay in the Premier League, and that is becoming evident. I'm going with a Tottenham home win here, though. Their game at Burnley on Sunday was snowed off, and that just means that Antonio Conte will get even more time with his players. I picture him constantly working with them tactically and on their fitness, and I think a good Spurs start will continue here, and he's gone for 2-0. So here's my team. Yeah, have you spotted it? Yeah, that's right. That's the team that beat Brentford 2-0 in the Carabao Cup. So that's why I've picked players, for example, Aurier and Sissoko, who are no longer here, because I'm putting it on you, Mr. Levy. I'm asking you as a fan, as a consumer, as a one-time client reference number before I lost my mind with you. I'm asking you what you've done since that game. And this isn't going back 20 years. This is only going back last year. This is under Mourinho. This is the game that took us through to a cup final that you swerved because you threw your toys out the pram. And I would put it to you that you've done nothing to improve the team whatsoever. And all we've had is a continuation of the mess, the absolute nightmare of over 500 days with no transfers for Pochettino. This is just a continuation. And so this team that you see on your screens now, this is, you know, it's not far off what we'll see today. And you can't bang on that Romero would make all of the difference. That's naivety in the most pitiful way. You can't bring, you know, even if he was fit, and, you know, I don't mean anybody, any ill will here, but you can't be relying on a 20-year-old boy from Spain. You just can't be doing it. Not in an English Cup game. You just can't be doing it. So we've seen Golini. He isn't fit to play this evening. He may well, I don't know, but he's what's he played? 10 games and conceded 10 or 11 goals. Absolute rubbish, junk. But you buy cheap, you buy twice, which is why he got thrown out of the Premier League the first time around. Let's not dress it up. Let's not make excuses. Let's not become apologists for micromanaging accountants. You know, there is no fine line. There's no blurred edges. There is a business at work here, and Conte, bless him, has already referenced it. If we can get the football on the grass as good as it is off the grass, then, you know, the world's your lobster. But in the meantime, the world is a series of roadkill meals with stale bread. So that's the team. And that's the team that will go out tonight, bar Aurier, which supposedly Emerson Royal is an upgrade. I would dispute that. I would suggest that only a child would consider that a player that was sold just a few months before we bought him for under 8 million is an upgrade, even on Serge Aurier. And Sissoko, for all his faults, you know, he's being replaced with perhaps Skipp, but we've still got Ndombele there, who may or may not have 70 minutes in him. So there's your team. Tell me your team. That's one of those things that people do. Don't forget to put your team in the comments. Yeah, tell me your team. Who would you pick? Because I think this is a game that ordinarily a Tottenham manager might go a little bit gently on, and because we've got a packed schedule, as that's everybody else, incidentally. Everybody else has got lots of games. So tell me your team and what you would do. Okay. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.